Hi. Hmm. Yeah. So I'm definitely going to be hello, sir. Can you see me? Awesome, awesome. I'm sorry for the little. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm so sorry for the little hitch up.
Awesome. I'm
Um,
sorry for the little.
I'm
Yeah,
so sorry.
okay.
Good
Thank you
afternoon,
very
sir.
much. Thank you. I'm so sorry for
Can
the
you hear
little
me?
hitch up. Awesome.
I
I'm
can hear
sorry
you. Let
for
me
the
switch
little.
off my other
Yeah,
device.
I'm so sorry.
okay. Good
Okay,
afternoon,
sir.
sir. Thank you. I'm
I
so
want to make
sorry
sure
for
I'm
the
able to hear
little
you live
hitch
and
up.
direct.
Awesome.
Happy weekend. And how is Texas this afternoon, sir?
Oh, thank God. Texas is fine. Fine.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I'm sorry for coming a little bit behind schedule and just still in the mood, celebrating connecting the dot at 3. I have a special and a distinguished guest who has been part of the journey and part of the story. And I have Reverend Dr. Tokwe Popola with me. And I don't know how much I can do justice to introducing him because he's a man of many parts. He's a father to the core, grandfather. He's a man of God. He's an accomplished leadership coach and he's a global keynote speaker. And he's an author. In fact, I've lost counts. Recently, he just launched another title. And one of the books that I've read that I really connected more with, it was a book that he titled Leading with Common Sense. And I know today we are talking about purpose. I know there is a bit of common sense that is needed
Yeah.
for everyone that want to connect the dots purposefully in life. And without wasting much time, I want to go ahead and just welcome you, sir, to
Thank
today's
you.
it's just a chat to just do justice to that work because there's no how we can exhaust this content, especially when we look at how the world is going and how we can truly live meaningfully. And I will pass it over to you, sir, to just welcome and greet our audience and let's jump right into it, connecting the dots into purpose. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you very much, Adeola. And I want to say
Yes,
that
sir.
I love what you're doing. And I want to
Thank you, sir.
encourage you to don't drop the ball.
Yes,
Just
sir.
keep going. And, sometimes one of the things that I like to tell people is sometimes the agenda of God takes time to marinate. It's not like instant coffee because everything about God, everything about what God does
Yes, sir.
entails a process. You see, the most important thing is a conviction that drives that action.
Yes,
Now, let me talking about purpose in the whole agenda of connecting the dots of life.
sir.
I think we may be jumping ahead of ourselves by just talking about purpose. And I can tell you this, and I will tell you why in a few moments, because you cannot even begin to count the number of seminars that address purpose, books that have
Yes,
been written about purpose, right? There's no motivational speaker that you will listen to who would not talk about purpose, all right?
yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
a lot of times you now find at the end of all of that, there's a question that always comes out. And people would listen to all the nice things about purpose, and then they would turn around and say, but how do I still discover my purpose? So it's like going back to square one. And over the years of teaching and mentoring people at various levels of life, corporate executives who were pursuing what they believed was a purpose, right? They had an agenda, they had a vision, and they were running with it. And then they become successful, right? They meet their goals, the benchmarks are all set, and the KPIs, key performance indicators are all there, and everything is all set. And all of a sudden, they get to that point in their lives where they say, is this all? Like, what else? They've gone to all the business schools, they've attended the seminars, they've done everything, in the book, and they're making the money. Like they can afford to live anywhere under the sun. But the problem is within themselves, there's still that void, that emptiness. So that says something to you. Again, there's a whole concept of people where, I ask questions when I do live seminars around purpose, self-discovery, and stuff like that. There's one question I always ask. And the question is, who wants to make it? And guess what the answer would be? In an audience, you say, who wants to make it? Anybody who wants to make it, let me see your hands up. What do you think will happen?
Yeah, that's true.
What will happen in an audience like that, where you are asking people who wants to make it? What will be their response?
Everybody wants to make it.
Everybody wants to make it, of course.
Everybody wants to make it.
But you see, the next question that I throw is what throws them off balance. I always ask the question, so what is it? What is the it that you want to make?
Yeah.
And that's why you now find
it's getting
people,
interesting here.
Yeah.
Go
That's
ahead,
why
sir.
you find people now begin to say, well, I want to fulfill my destiny in life. And I say, okay, so what's your destiny in life? Or some people will say, I want to do what God has created me for. What has God created you for?
That's true.
And some people will say, I want to affect my generation or influence my generation. How? And then another person will say, well, I want to become famous. I want to be rich. I want to be this. How?
Oh.
So the question is not the vision. The problem is with the specificity. And that is something that doesn't just happen. You have to connect it with something that will always jump over. And until you go back to that thing, right, you can
That's
never,
right.
I don't care how many books you read. I'm a reader. I read books. I'm always surrounded by books. Okay? My wife still had issues with me this morning because my side of the bed, I've been littered. She keeps packing and keeps doing, but it's always littered with books. And I told her, sorry, there's nothing you can do about that. I wish there was something you could do about that, but really, there's nothing you can do. That's who I am.
That's true.
All right? Now, so hear me. The issue of who is a question most of us don't answer before we start looking for why. Why? Purpose is the answer for why. Identity is the answer for who.
Why? Against who?
That's right. And until the who is right, the why will be confused.
Wow.
Because all of us in life, we do who we have become.
Yeah. That's true.
We don't function outside. When you function outside of your real person, it brings frustration. It brings anger. Okay? You just get fed up easily. You feel like life has dealt you a bad card. If your life is in the performance mode all the time, without that performance arising out of an inner and intrinsic recognition of who you are,
Yeah.
the frustration of trying to act out a script to impress others, to make them think this is who you are, or to make yourself fall in line with what they think you are, want you to be, that frustration can kill you.
That's the frustration. You got it.
Because you
Wow.
just spend your whole life trying to impress, trying to make a mark, trying to trend, trying to do it. And so when those expectations are not met, because you are looking at external factors for motivation when you have not first discovered an internal motive.
The motive is very important.
That's the whole idea of the word motivation comes from the word motive. So many people are trying to get motivated without a motive. The motive is a raw material, and the motive proceeds rather from your identity. Now, let me put it this way. Let me explain that to make it very clear. Everything in creation, whether created by God or by man, everything in creation has a source.
Yeah.
Okay? Everything has a source. Somebody made the glasses you're putting on. Somebody else made the earrings. Somebody made the dress.
That's true.
Everything in creation comes from a source. And man's frustration comes from his refusal to acknowledge that he is connected to a source. And so he thinks he is smarter and can define himself outside of that source. Now, imagine the glasses you're putting on, right?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Imagine food being served in front of you, right? And you take your glasses and you're trying to use your glasses to eat.
Wow. That's weird.
That is weird. That is total abuse. Why? Because that's not what the source designed it to do.
What designed for? That's true.
So the critical issue is purpose is only designed into identity. So
Absolutely.
if you don't know who you are, you can't even know what you were created to do.
Wow.
So a lot of people are trying to find, what am I created to do? What is my passion? And I always say to people, passion is overrated because you can be passionate about the wrong things.
That's it.
What makes a man commit?
Absolutely spot
What
on.
makes a man commit adultery? What makes a woman commit adultery? What kind of sins do you call them? You call them sins of passion. So passion can derail you sometimes if passion is not directed.
Wow. I know there's no, I just don't know. But if you are just joining or you're watching this on a replay and you're yet to subscribe, please go ahead and subscribe, click the like button, and also drop a comment because this is getting.
Now,
okay, good, sir.
Hear this.
Yes, sir.
Go back to creation. Genesis 1, where it all started. Because that's the source of all creation, right? So it sets a template.
Yeah.
In the beginning, God. That's the source.
That's true.
Created the heavens and the earth. Source. Now, what are the things you find in creation? The first thing you find a creator.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And then the creator now goes ahead and puts trees, vegetation, what is it called now? The firmaments. Okay?
That's true.
After he said, let there be light, then he created the firmament, created the sun, the moon,
Yeah.
and all this other stuff.
I need to
Okay?
get the charger. Yeah.
And when he created all of those things, what did he say? I mean, what did he do next? He created creatures. So you have creator, creation, creatures. And number 4, he now created man. And he said, let this man be created in our own image and after our likeness.
Yes.
Right? So that is the creator. So that's the creator, creation, creatures, and then he created creators.
In our own image, our own likeness.
So what is the image of God? The very first time you meet him, what was he doing? He was creating. So if he said, let them be in our image, he was actually directly creating creators like himself. So that's an essential part of our identity, the ability to create value, the ability to bring things to be, the ability to look at what is and turn it to what it should be or what we want it to be. So put that on one side. Because sometimes we think that the system owes us something. And if government is not giving me, then government is bad. Parents are not giving me, then they don't care. If my society or my employer is not giving me, then this, da. Now, the world may owe you a job, but the world, you don't derive your work from the world. There's a difference between the job and the work. The job may be something you do to pay your bills, something to put, to put body and soul together, like we say. And guess what? You can be sacked from a job.
Yes, sir.
You don't even have to like the job, and you can be very good at it without liking it because it's bringing in money. So you train and all of that, and your heart is not in it. And when the person who gave you the job is tired, or he feeling that you are no longer bringing sufficient value, he throws you out. But you see, there's something nobody can sack you from.
Discard you just like that.
Yeah, but there's something nobody can sack you from. Do you want to know what that is?
Wow.
Do you want to know something that nobody can sack you from?
Tell us, sir.
Nobody can sack you from your work. You cannot be sacked from your work.
From your work?
Yeah, because your work
that's a great one.
Is tied to your identity. It is programmed inside your identity. Now that brings me to something else that I want you to know. You wanted to, yeah, go ahead. You wanted to say something. Go ahead. I thought you wanted to say something.
Yeah, go on. I'm with you, sir. Let's unpack that identity and how it has to do with our work.
So now look at it. Again, everything in creation, everything created by God or created by man, everything in creation has 4 elements. 4 elements. Number one, it has an identity. In fact, no, sorry, 5 elements. It has 5 elements. Number one, it has a source. Number two, it has an identity.
Okay.
Number three, because you see, there's a sequence, and if you if you don't follow the sequence, or if you if you misplace it, then you mess up the whole thing. So there is a source, and it is that source that determines the identity
Source
of that thing.
identity.
Did you make this appliance? Did you make it?
That's true.
No. Did you make it? Are you hearing me? Can you hear me?
No. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Not at all.
Did you make this thing?
No.
But so
yes, I can hear you. I
but
can
you
hear
are
you
not
properly.
okay. But you are not the one who called it a phone. Who called it a phone? Who called it a phone? Adeola, who called it a phone? It wasn't you.
The manufacturer.
Exactly. So if you now wake up and say that this is what? This is a spoon.
It's not possible.
Does that change the label of the manufacturer? The label of the manufacturer does not change
at all.
So
Not
the
at all.
identity is fixed in the source by the source. And so this phone has an identity. And to make matters, even better, the maker gave it a name. They branded it. So whether it is Samsung or Xiaomi or, whatever, but it has a brand.
That's true.
And inside every brand, they will put something that makes it a little different from another brand. But all of them, generically, they're all phones designed for communication, period.
The power of originality. Yeah.
So now, that's number what? That's number 2.
Absolutely.
Then inside the identity now, you will find the purpose. That's number 3. No, that's number 3. Source, identity, purpose.
Yeah. Purpose. Yeah.
So
identity.
So because it is called a phone, when you buy it, without even thinking about it, you put it on and you start using it to make calls, period. So without struggling, without doing anything spectacular, that phone is already successful.
That's true. It's programmed to function.
It's already successful because once you put it on, the purpose is activated. The phone will become a failure if you try to use it as your spoon to eat. That's what you call malfunctioning or abuse of purpose. Now, so that's number 3. The purpose now is what releases the power. So source, identity, purpose, power.
The power. Okay. Yeah.
So when you go to church and you have people, oh, this way, empower me, by power, but give me power. Yeah, want power. We want power. Ask for power. Power to do what? Because the purpose of power is to influence outcomes. That's what power does. The capacity to influence outcomes. The capacity to influence change. So when you're asking God for power to do what? Everything in creation generates power. And how is that power activated? It is activated when purpose is activated. The power for communication is released by the phone when the phone is applied to calling and receiving or doing anything that has to do with communication. That's what activates the power.
Wow.
So if I buy this phone and I keep it inside the box and I'm looking at it every morning and I don't switch it on, Adeola, if you call me on it, I will not be able to pick your call. Because even though the capacity is inside it, that capacity is not activated.
Oh, possible. That's true.
So if you find yourself not being able to walk in power, ask yourself, am I walking in purpose? Because the activation of purpose is the natural activation of power.
A lot is happening, even internally with some. I'm not even sure. This has to go on a replay so many times to bring so many things together. Because how you have been able to weave the fact that the energy and the momentum to do anything we are doing now can be traced back to the very core of how we've been wired. And
Exactly.
if we are actually being able to, oh my.
So you don't need, look, there's a natural outflow of capacity when you discover the essence of your being.
Oh my God.
And I'm going to talk in a little bit. When I finish this thing, I'm going to remind me if I forget. I'm going to talk about the concept of ikigai in Japanese philosophy. Ikigai. So remind me if I forget. So we now transit to the fifth element. What is the fifth element?
Okay.
Potential. Potential is everything you are capable of doing, but you have not yet done or even discovered that you could do. Now, this is a phone. Primarily, I'm going to use the phone again. Primarily,
I love it.
You can make a call or receive a call. That power is activated when you switch on the phone and it is connected to a service provider. All right? Now, but watch it. This phone also has the capacity, the potential. This phone has a potential to start a revolution. Most demonstrations or mass movements that you see in our world today starts with somebody working on a phone and sending a message.
Started from somewhere.
Somebody sends a text message to another person, who sends it to another person,
Depending
who
on how
sends it
it's
to another
wired,
person.
it
Boom.
can make or make. That's true.
But who would have thought that one phone could start a revolution?
Wow.
So that's potential. So, and potential is limitless. You discover more of capacity the more you use. The more you display the power, the more potential is unleashed. The more you use, the more is unleashed. The more you use, the more is revealed. I'm sure when you started doing all of this 2-3 years ago,
Wow.
you would never have thought that you could do some of the things you are doing now. But when you started and you began to unleash capacity in a particular direction, more and more chapters began to open. Necessary connections began to come. The people you need to know, the places you need to go, the things you didn't know, but now you now have to know. And so your capacity is being built as the power is being deployed. So this is the thing. And that is why you find a lot of frustration coming, because we have misplaced the whole thing. We've turned it upside down. So everybody's talking about purpose, what my purpose, and people are not even finding answers.
Wow. So many things just going on in my mind with what you have said.
So when God created man, he gave him a mandate, a 5-fold mandate. And what was the mandate? Be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it,
Be fruitful, multiply,
replenish, subdue, have
and dominion.
Now, most of the time you think it's all about, that was about childbearing. It had nothing to do with childbearing, because Eve was not even created at that time. Who is God saying? What did he say? Why did he say? Why did he say be fruitful, not be seedful? Can you produce fruit without seed? Can you produce fruit without seed?
Wow.
You can't produce fruit without seed. So
It's not possible.
So why did God not say be seedful? Why did he jump seed and just go to fruit?
So there's something happening before we can get to that place. Called fruitfulness.
It's because the seed is already in you. The seed of everything Adam will become was already programmed into his DNA, his spiritual DNA at the beginning. So it was a matter of take that which has been put inside of you as part of your divine nature, the divine makeup, and now go and translate it to productivity. Now, there's something about fruit. There's something about fruit. The fruit does not feed the tree that produced it.
Dr. Tope, this, oh my God.
The fruit does not feed the tree that produced it. So your fruit, your prosperity, okay, is not meant for you.
Oh my God. I don't know if we are going to finish this conversation today. Maybe we are going to continue tomorrow. Do you know what is happening? Even internally, I'm just trying to console myself. Because if this is, God is this detailed and he had already put everything line upon line, how come with regards to the disruption that Satan did, how come that we have not been able to have that foundation right? Because I'm not even looking at even every family unit that's supposed to. How many parents even have this knowledge and understanding before even embarking on the journey of procreation? And I just don't know. Where are we going to start?
These are not things they taught us in church either. Church hardly teaches us these things. And that's why you have a lot of people with
Not at all.
devotion. They have devotion, but no transformation.
Religion.
They love God. People love God. They serve God with all of their lives. But yet, when they're heaven, like I call them heaven focused, but earthly useless.
But there's no relationship.
That's the point. So the whole idea of thy kingdom come, thy will be done here on earth as it is in heaven, is not something that we understand. But this is how it will happen. Now, look at it. Have you heard people teach about the four river heads and they talk about multiple streams of income? Have you heard that teaching on multiple streams of income? Where they talk about the four river heads that came into Eden.
I think so. Yeah. Yes, I've heard. Yeah. The river and the...
But Adeola, let me now shock your theology. You can go and find it out yourself.
Yeah.
Go and find it out yourself. The river heads did not flow into the garden. They were flowing from the garden. And they carried gold, they carried bdellium, they carried all sorts of things in them. So prosperity or the multiple streams of income are not the things that come to you. They are the things that flow from you to enrich your environment.
We have not yet started. We are not started yet.
So it's a flow. It's a flow from within. It's not a flow from outside in. From out of your belly shall flow rivers of living water. But we're still at the stage where we're still bringing cup for God to fill.
I love those connections with the scriptures.
Fill my cup, Lord. I lift it up, Lord. Come and quench the thirsting of my soul. No. He said, from out of you shall flow rivers of living water. How can somebody who is supposed to be the source of living waters now be asking God to help him fill a cup?
Out of your belly.
So we're asking God to fill our cup, and he's saying, no, you are the river.
So have men and brethren, I'm reminded of somewhere in the Bible that where I don't know what to say. I remember that place in the scripture that says, Where shall we go from here? I know you have not even concluded, though. And this was
of
meant
course,
to be
no,
a
there's
30 minutes
still more.
conversation. I don't even see us ending, but I want you to really address actually even the diaspora and community and everything, the hustling for what is not.
That's a different look.
It's a total picture of where we have missed
Deola,
out of the original intention from
if
the
we
beginning.
start on that, we will not even. I don't know how long you want this broadcast to go on, but I can tell you something. I said I was going to talk about Ikigai earlier. So let me talk about that, and we can veer into the diaspora conversation, right? Because that's
Yes, the concept of flow.
a whole department on its own, right? Now, let me talk about Ikigai. In an island in Japan called Okinawa.
Yeah.
In Okinawa, researchers found out that they have longevity. It's almost like everybody in that island, on that island, lives very long. At 90 something, 95, 98, people are still going to their farms. Right? Very healthy, very strong. And so researchers started looking for why do these people live so long? What is so special about them? Because I mean, in Okinawa, people living to be over 100 is almost like it's normal. It's normal. It's not unusual, right? In fact, seeing people die before the age of 90 is unusual among them. So they now found out and said, but what is responsible for this? And then they now found out that in the communities, they have upheld a principle or a philosophy they call Ikigai. Ikigai is a combination of two Japanese words that mean essence and life, life essence. So every child is raised to understand that his life is not only about him, it is about being able to deploy capacity to serve others. So there's always that sense of, I have a reason why I'm in this world. I have a reason why I'm in this community. I am not just here to consume value. I am here to provide value. And the way I put it, Adeola, is this. Service is the rent that you pay for the space that you occupy on earth. I'll say that again. Service is the rent that you pay for the space that you occupy on earth.
That's great.
So if you're occupying a space on earth and that space is not honoring God and serving people, that is unfruitfulness. That is a waste of space. And you can be evicted because you are not paying rent.
Life essence.
Yes.
Service. The rent. And any factor can evict you.
Simple.
Because
look, there is no employer that gets rid of his best staff.
That's true. 100%. 100%.
Even when the organization is about to shut down, the best staff are the last to go.
That's true. They will.
They will always find a means of accommodating them. There is no society that rejects value. None.
Wow. That's true.
That is why you can make money in any currency as long as you are bringing value that is relevant to that particular
Man.
environment.
Oh my God. I'm just, I'm just, I'm it's a good mess up. You've really, really given us so many things to go and sit back
Because
and
the question is
ponder over
sometimes I
and
ask myself,
reflect
are
on.
we ready for some conversations? Because most of us are not ready for some of these conversations.
And that is why, while you are talking, the concept of age is now useless. Because as long as you are not following this blueprint, age is now,
It's irrelevant.
it's irrelevant if you
Yeah.
are not doing and you are not creating that value
And
with the essence that you have been given to create
a man of purpose does not retire because your work is programmed to your identity. So the day you retire is the day you die.
Yeah. Yeah. Till death.
So you can retire from government work, you can retire from paid employment, but that which you were created for, that which God put in your DNA, you can never retire from it.
Wow. I love what you've just said. That is why the 9 to 5 scheme, if we don't truly study it well and we don't apply that concept of knowing when to pivot and when to actually, you will just say they will ensure that you are spent, you are
Completely.
drained of your energy, of your momentum and everything. By the time they are telling you to come and retire, they are even waiting for you to have recruit your children to continue the trade, whereas you have not
Exactly.
taken time to do justice to all the potential that is in you. Everything is still alive.
That is a problem.
Follow.
Because there will always be another bill to pay, another bill to pay, another thing to do, another thing to do. So you are constantly in the grind.
Yeah. Well,
And the education programs
that's
your children
uh,
to enter into that same grind
it's
and
a
continue.
constant grind that keep you moving, and there's no way.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the
This
problem
is
now is because so many people have been mentally prepared for that grind, there is now competition for that grind, such that even the people that were prepared for that grind don't even have space in it anymore.
we our mind has been stuck to believe this is the only way out.
And so, the problem with that is this. Problem with that is this. Once you have been sucked into that kind of mental conditioning, yeah, you believe that that's the only way you can be productive. Now, school takes you through a know-how process. School does not take you through a know-why process. School does not teach you know who and know why. School only teaches you know-how. And I mess you up a little bit.
Please.
The people who know how will always be employed by the people who know who and know why.
Please repeat, sir. Yeah.
The people who only know how. I'm an engineer. I'm a lawyer. I am a teacher. I can, design this. I can, sell this. I can know how,
Yeah.
skills. They will always be employed. They will always get a job. But the people will constantly be their employer are the people who know the who and the why.
The who, the why.
Yes.
We are going to definitely have this conversation to continue.
See, because
Because we have not even
the
seen
who connects you to the whose. So you don't know who you are until you know whose you are. Remember, source. When God was talking to Adam and said, if you eat this fruit,
that's the source of everything.
you will die. He was not talking about Adam dying and going 6 feet under. That's not what he was talking about. That's not what God calls death. Because definitely, whether you are spiritual or you are not spiritual, this flesh, this earth part of you will one day wear out and will go back to where it came from. But what God was saying by death is disconnection from source.
The separation.
When you are disconnected from source, you die. You know why? Because it is your source. It is your source that supplies your resource.
Wow. That will give you everything, your essence.
It's your source, the source of anything sustains it. That's why you cannot put the parts of a Mercedes-Benz inside a Toyota vehicle.
And I understand this. Oh my God. I'm just, everything that is coming to my mind is, how do we begin that journey to making sure that everyone, because when I look at the diaspora, we as parents, many of what we celebrate is, oh, I have what it takes. You give gadgets, give them all the things they need, buy clothing, do all those things. We don't even have the time to get them to know the details of what they are here for. And we as parents too. Now I'm now looking at, if we are not getting that right now, what are we going to give to them, and what are they able to do? So I'm just looking at how the next generation is going, the impact of this truth that we have not embraced. And
you cannot give what you don't have.
Oh my God.
Lawyers have a language. Lawyers, they will say, nemo dat, quod nemo habe. That's Latin for saying no man can give what he does not have. If you were raised, if you grew up in the grind, you believe that the best you can do in the grind is rise to the level of a career where you are a corporate executive and the people are paying you. Now, but it doesn't occur to you that by the time a man is paying you $150,000 a year, he must be making at least 15 to 20 million from you.
He has more than that. Wow. And
now, but he is the one, you are the one who has the skills and the know-how that he requires. So he determines your value. Now, the word salary is from the Latin word salarium, which means salt. That's where salt is derived from. So that means your sweat. Have you ever tasted your sweat? Have you tasted your sweat before? What is it?
It's
What is
salt.
the taste? It's salty.
It tastes like salt. Yeah.
So he's simply saying your sweat is worth this. This is my estimation of what your labor is worth. But what do you do when you labor? You sweat, right? So this is what your sweat is worth to me in the measure of salt. Now, there's a history to that.
That's true.
In the old Roman Empire, the salary of soldiers was paid in weights of salt. Bags of salt was what they used to pay salaries. So you will get measures of salt depending on your rank. Okay? So what a colonel will get is different from what a captain will get. What a captain will get is different from what a sergeant will get. So, but it was all calculated in salt. So you now went to the market and you will sell the salt, and that was your salary. So what you were selling was like your sweat.
It's you go on. I'm just everything you are saying now should even create a kind of revolt to everyone that is still in that chain. And even though I know there should be a time we must have an escape mindset, that even if I started this way, it shouldn't be the end. And now when you now look at the frustration that entrepreneurship brings, but when we are not wired to believe that this is the right way, we will want to cause our blessing and feel we are doing the wrong thing, and we interpret the initial failures of just getting started to be.
Go and look at the impact of diaspora in the history of Israel.
That's it.
And you will see the plan of God for human displacement. Because it's not about how you came into a nation. It's about what happened after you got into the nation. So whether you came to study
after,
or you came as a visitor and you stayed, or you stayed by marriage or whatever, there's a reason for if the Bible says that the whole world must be filled with the knowledge of the glory of God as the waters cover the sea. How did God touch heathen nations, Gentile nations, before Jesus Christ? Diaspora.
That's true.
Abraham was a diasporan.
Wow.
Isaac was a diasporan.
And all his children too.
You remember when, you remember Abraham went to Egypt?
Yes. That's true.
When there was he went to Egypt. I like it.
So somebody put in the comments, Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome. Yes. When you begin to actually enjoy the pain inflicted on you by your oppressor, when you begin, that's the Stockholm syndrome. You actually begin to revel and enjoy the oppression as a way of life. It's like a slave that enjoys what the slave master is doing. It's like somebody that is raped, that has been raped, who enjoys a romance with the rapist. And somebody will say, "Oh, America only favors the rich. It favors this. It favors this," because they are the value contributors. They are the ones who are keeping everybody else employed. They are the ones who are bringing value to the table to solve problems.
Wow.
So now look at this. So listen to me? Who would you rather give a tax break? Somebody who is only collecting money from the system, or somebody who is employing 25 people in the system, who would you rather give a tax break?
That is actually employing.
Simple.
Mm.
It's as simple as that. So no matter how much the poor hates the rich, it will not make the rich poor.
Mm.
And it won't make the poor rich.
Mm.
Because you can
Wow.
only equalize opportunities, but you cannot equalize wealth.
This is, I'm just trying to look at where we're going to try to, we can't imagine that we are already an hour into this conversation and we've not even been able to see where to tie it up and say. But one of the things that is coming to my mind is like, I imagine this to be a church. If everybody is hearing this on a Sunday to Sunday basis, like this is what is being preached. I just the place, there's a place in the Bible in Genesis chapter 13 says, and Cheladorama served, and on the 13th year he rebelled.
They rebelled,
Like
yeah.
you get to that point where there is nothing they want to serve you again. Your mind is already open and you can no longer.
Again, like I said, maybe we will need a whole session to talk about diaspora influence. But let me just give you a quick hint. And you look at the Bible. See, I do my thinking and my operations from that book.
I'm going to look for
Because
us to have
that book it has everything we require. We just turned it to a template of religion. Look at it. Abraham. He was so influential in Egypt. But when there was a similar situation that happened to Isaac, his son, and that one wanted to go to Egypt, what did God say to him? Don't go to Egypt. Stay in this land where you are, in the land of the Philistines. And what happened to him there?
He said,
Bible says he
you
sowed in
should
that land
stay
and
in
became
Philistine.
prosperous. Even in the midst of famine,
Yeah.
he demonstrated that the blessing of Abraham that
He
he
sowed in
carried
the land
was
and
bigger than any environment. That's the message God wanted to pass across. That if you are a carrier of this blessing, no environment has your capacity to oppress you.
Oh my God.
And he excelled so well there that the Bible says at the end of it all, the king of the Philistines,
Oh my God.
the king of the Philistines came to him personally.
They came to
It's like the
negotiate with
king
him
of
that
the
he should,
country coming to meet you, ordinary person, to say,
because it's
look,
becoming a threat to them.
we have seen that there is somebody with you that is bigger than us. So let us have an alliance with you.
Yeah.
Now look at Jacob. Jacob was oppressed from home.
Yeah.
Now, that's why I'm saying that no matter the circumstance that got you out,
That's right.
the pressure of home, the hatred from his own brother sent him into exile. And when he got into exile, the pressure of his uncle almost kept him subjugated for about 20 years. First 14 years to marry a wife, no salary.
Yeah.
Then 14 years after all of that, without a salary, his uncle said to him, determine your wages. You know, when the man said, okay, now I've married my 2 wives, let me go and just fend for myself. Genesis 30:30. He said, let me now go and
Yes.
fend for myself. What did Laban say? Laban said, no. You see, I have discovered.
Taking advantage of.
They said, I have discovered by
I've discovered.
revelation, by divination.
I've taken
See,
time to
so the
observe.
man had gone to consult the oracle. He said, I went to consult oracle. Oracle told me that the only reason why I have prospered so much is because of your presence. How many nations can we go to that can say the prosperity of this nation can be tied to your presence?
Dr. Tokwe, there is no doubt when I'm going to be having to bring you back, because truly, if every one of us gets this right, it's going to be a great relief. Even we've not even talked about Nigerian back home and so many of those things happening. Even if we can get to that place where our understanding about the agenda of God, just ordinary being an immigrant and the purpose of God from where you have, that's wherever you are, regardless, the blessing supersedes. If you are carrying the blessing, it takes you beyond whatever is happening. It keeps you in a place where you cannot be defined.
You can never, you can never, no man can rise above the environment that conditions his thinking.
Yeah. That mindset thing.
Nobody, you can never rise above the environment that conditions your thinking.
Yeah. So that's alone is the issue that we need to. So anywhere, you can be in America, you can be in the most blessed country in the world. Once that plague is not removed, you will just keep, oh my God. And then we look at it and say it is family cause or ogun or something like that.
I say
Generational.
ancestral causes of village people.
But because that is another part of how we just put up those narratives, but we actually need to begin to, Doctor, I must say that we just gonna manage to put this to a comma and not a full stop, because definitely I'm going to have to come to ask for your schedule and the best time we can go, and we can even have a series, because that will be able to help us take this further, and then we're able to take those steps that we can begin to take, that because so many of us, oh, it's already too late. No, from what you are sharing now, everybody can start now and take the truth about what God has said and begin to apply it, and allow that seed that is in us to go through that phase that looks so ugly when the seed is buried, and when that work is finished, by the time we see what is being produced, we become the envy of the world, that everybody wants to come and plug. Oh, look at this beautiful fruit. Look at this
Abraham
beautiful.
was 75 when he left home. Yes. Abraham did not become a diasporan until he was 75. So how old are you that you think it's too late for you to do anything?
In fact, I was doing the study, I was reading the Bible from the year, and I'm in Genesis. So every time I read and I see they made intention to quote the years, and I was just like, so what is happening? So look at it. So these guys, so I'm making it intentionally to remove the age, this, no, to focus on what I can do between the time I'm here.
That's all.
Somebody put in the comments, Abraham went for his postgraduate at 75. That's funny. Wow. Thank you so much. Dr. Tokwe Popola. I know before, when we wanted to start and there was a little hitch, there's nothing going to stop this. And I'm going to do something, and that will be after I'm able to get your your availability, and then to see because I believe everyone that goes to watch this replay, and I'm going to be sending it out even in bits to help us see where we are. Everybody can see truly, because once you can identify where you are, your awareness is going to lead to what? To your transformation. So you're able to tell yourself the truth, and you're able to open your mind to receive the truth that can change your status and your presence, your circumstance, to where you have always dreamt, where you always see yourself, and it's looking like a mirage or something that cannot happen in your own lifetime. And I'm so happy that we are blessed to have this wisdom coming from you, sir. I'm so grateful. I cannot even imagine. This is a masterclass that people will pay thousands of dollars to go and learn. And you have come to give it to us on a platter of gold. And I want to say a very big thank you for your time, and to say that we are going to be living out this, and we are going to be part of those people that will be extension of this grace and extension of this truth when we begin to see the fruits and the manifestation and the transformation that is going to come out of this. And I'm seeing books too. And maybe I will ask you, when you are doing the last your last comment, your closing remark, to teach us or to refer us to some other books maybe you've done that can help us to go and continue the conversation, to go and, based on what we've shared today.
Yes, when you talk about books, look,
Explore
there are
more.
so many. In fact, I don't even know where do I even begin to where do I even begin from.
Yes, sir.
I wrote a book with the title "Living Intentionally."
Yeah, I have this. Yes, I got this, and I got
And
2 of your books.
it's a template that can help you at least to discover, to begin the journey. Because you see, every journey begins. Now, let me first debunk something. God did not give humanity a destiny. We don't have a destiny. Whoever, I don't know how the whole concept of destiny came into our vocabulary, but I've said it before, I used it too, but it's not, I don't find a biblical foundation for the word destiny. Destination, yes. And what is the destination of every one of us? The destination of every Christian is to make Christ known by advancing the agenda of the kingdom of God on earth. And what is that? You, like I said at the beginning, right? You have creation. I mean, you have the creator, you have creation, you have creatures, and then you have creators.
Yeah.
So the
And we have
ultimate
creators.
thing that God is, and that's what he demonstrated over and over and over again through the blessing of Abraham. The blessing of Abraham is not about land. It's not about the real estate. It's not about all of those things. If it was about those things, then Abraham did not need God, because he was prosperous enough before God came to talk to him. He had enough. He had a personal army. If a person can have a personal army of people born in his own house, under his own roof, you know that that person, you can't now go and talk to that person, say, I'll make you a billionaire. He will look at you like, are you okay? So the blessing of Abraham is that internal capacity to fulfill an agenda in the mind of God. Now, look at a lion. All right? Look at a lion. A lion doesn't think about destiny. It just does its job. Now, look at a lion. Why do you think a lion exists? Why do you think a lion exists? A lion is not, look, a lion does not kill other animals because it is wicked.
Yeah.
That's not why a lion kills. A lion does not kill because it wants to eat raw meat. That's not why it kills. You want to know why the lion is a carnivore?
Please.
You want to know?
Yes, sir. Please tell us.
It's because the purpose and the identity inside the DNA of a lion is a purpose to regulate population in the ecosystem.
That is the way he's been wired.
The purpose of the lion is that it is wired to regulate animal population in the ecosystem.
Wow. Regulation.
So that means that there will not be a time when the ecosystem will be overcome by some particular breeds of animals. Okay? Because there will be a lion, a leopard, and other carnivores that make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay? Because if the purpose of the lion is just to kill.
Yes, sir.
What did the lions in the ark eat? So
wow.
it's not a function of their being carnivores. It is that there is an ecosystem to regulate. So when you throw a lion into the jungle, it does not need permission to excel. Okay? And that's why you will never find a lion in a forest around, very small forests around the house where animals don't stay, like, where you have more human population, and then you have, like, in an estate, and you have small pockets of bush. You won't find lions there.
Yeah.
Because there are no buffaloes there to overgrow the place. The only animals you find there are maybe rats and stuff. And to regulate that system, you have snakes who will swallow those rats. Do you understand the picture? So the lion does not need struggle. And so God has given it as part of his strategy. So the killing of other animals is a strategy for fulfilling its purpose. That is the strategy. It is not the purpose. It's not the identity.
So I think the greatest.
So, go ahead.
No, I'm just trying to see that we can't finish exhausting the nature of who God is, like the fatherhood of God and the nature of God, who he is. From this perspective, you even have not thought of asking that question, that what was he eating then? Truly, that what was he eating in the ark? And also that that is the purpose. So when we see the animal, the lion roar and does what he does, he's fulfilling purpose.
How do you frustrate a lion? When you cage the lion, and you now put that lion in a zoo. When you put that lion in a zoo, it's even though it is eating raw meat, you are feeding it with raw meat, but it's not fulfilling its purpose. It's not doing what it was created to do, because now you have in most cases, you have killed the meat for it. Therefore, you rob it of its ability to hunt. And yet hunting is in its DNA as a way of fulfilling its purpose.
That's true.
So the claws it cannot use, the sharp teeth and the strong jaws, they are not exercised.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So,
Doctor. I want you to raise that book again so that people, viewers, and everyone can see it and go
Living
pick a copy.
Intentionally, it's on
Wow.
Amazon.
So that is the book. You can see Living Intentionally by Dr. Tokwe Popola. It's on Amazon.
And the one you talked about
Yes.
earlier,
So I'm going to be asking every
the
one of
one you
you,
talked about earlier is
strictly recommended, highly
recommended.
recommended, to go look for that book, and let's begin to, that second one too. I have those books. I have them. And then recently, you just did another book.
Yes, I want.
We're going to be bringing the culture of
Let me show you that one.
getting to, reading just for
Let
the
me show
sake
you that
of
one. This is
helping.
that is called the multilingual God, and in actual
Yes.
fact, this one goes into some detail about the plan of God and the destination of God for the church. The multilingual God. And what it does is to look at Acts chapter 2. It's based on Acts chapter 2. The whole evidence of,
Wow.
the whole
I need to get that.
episode
I need
of
to get that.
Pentecost, which we have simply reduced to speaking in tongues, whereas it was meant to lead us into something. But we have camped around it, and we think it's all about speaking in other tongues. And that's what this book seeks to expound
Wow.
on. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I'm gonna
Thank you.
also put the description a link to how people can get how we can get these books. And guys, I think this is where we're going to be calling it a comma and not a full stop, because I know we are not done. But I want to sincerely appreciate your time, sir. And I can see that there's no how we can exhaust the subject of purpose. Look at where we started, and we have not even scratched. But I believe that with what we've shared today, it is enough to create that hunger, to create that insatiable appetite for every one of us to know why we are here, and to do everything possible with every knowledge that we can arm ourselves with, that we can have within our reach, to becoming better version of who we are, to becoming and to understanding why we are here. Because with that understanding, a lot of things is going to change, and our lives and their lives of men and women that are attached to us getting it will be. Wow. So thank you very much for honoring
Thank you
today's
for having me.
request to be part of the third anniversary of connecting the dots. And this is still the dots we are connecting. 3 years after, we are still connecting the dots until the picture is clear and is bright and the future is great. It is so I'm going to be reaching out afterwards to know when next we can have you back on this great platform, and for everyone to sit up in the beginning of the year, and by the time we are saying 31st, we can boldly say we have not worked in vain. All right.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, sir. And I look forward to hearing something from you. Everyone, please, if you love yourself and you love somebody, I want you to please subscribe, and also go look for Reverend Tokwe Popola on Facebook and Instagram. Look for him on YouTube, and please go and follow him. And let's continue the engagement and this conversation. And also, please share this link to anyone you still love, because you are going to be doing your part of fulfilling that part of helping truth to go live, helping truth to go wide, and to change as many lives that needs to hear this. And until I see you tomorrow, God bless you all and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yes, sir.
Well, I guess I can't exit unless you exit. I don't know. Or
Amen.
how do I do it?
Thank you, sir. I'll do it here, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.